Hello once again, Arnold Romppai here from Romppai's. Go to www.romppais.ca. That's ROMPP as in Peter, AIS.ca. For our retail site, if you're a dealer or jobber, go to our wholesale site at romppais.com. I just want to take a minute here with this new demo Lenovo Think Center that was sent to us for a demo. A lot of people, when they first buy a computer, they don't want to pay a few extra bucks to have us set them up or anywhere you go. And if you buy from a big box store, they just hand you the box and away you go. Well, the problem is nowadays computers, this is an exception because this computer came with a free upgrade to Windows 8 here on March the 7th, 2013. From Windows comes with free upgrade recovery disks to go to Windows 8 from Windows 7 Business Professional to Windows 8. It comes with the free upgrade. But aside from that, when you buy a computer, you don't get no recovery disks. And there's a couple small sheets of paper in the box with the laptop or the desktop or the workstation or the server or whatever you have, and people don't read it because it just looks like a whole bunch of pieces of paper in different languages. But there is one little small section in there that tells you that you have to create a set of recovery disks for Windows 7 or Windows 8 if you buy a computer with Windows 8 in it later on. They have no recovery disks, and if you crash your computer and you can't use the D drive partition that the factory installed in it to recover your computer from back to factory off the D drive partition, it's crashed to the point where you can't even get to it. Then you have to, and if you didn't burn a set of backup recovery disks, then you got to call Lenovo, HP, Acer, whatever brand you call. You got to call up tech support, and it's going to cost you for the call, because that kind of stuff is not covered under warranty on a software operating system. And they're going to charge you anywhere from $150 to $250 for a set of recovery disks that are for the serial number of your computer. You can't just take a set of recovery disks from another Lenovo computer or another Acer computer or HP computer and recover it. It's not going to work because they're dedicated. It's OME operating systems, and they're dedicated strictly to that serial number. So you're going to pay big bucks for the recovery disks. So you click the start button in the lower right hand or left hand corner, and in the search box, type in the search box a recovery disk creation. That is recovery disk creation, and you're going to open that up, and you're going to choose to burn to DVD. Now you're going to need non-rewritable DVDs. You cannot use dual layer DVDs. In most cases, you're going to need 2 to 4 DVDs to create these recovery disks. You can only do it once. You can only create it once, unless it happens to go back to the factory for warranty repairs. And they do the repair and they'll set it back to factory. And then you can burn another set. But make sure you burn at a low speed, not at high speed. And before you do anything to the computer, just get it set up, and that's it. Till you get to where this computer is right now. Nothing is installed on it. It's just put their name and computer name in it and stuff like that, and choose to connect to your network if you have a network. And like I say, go to the start menu, type in the search box recovery disk creation, click on it up in the very top of the box. It'll open up a page, a little box that has a couple of options, and the furthest one to the right will be factory disk creation. When you click on that, before you click on that, put a blank, non-rewritable, good quality DVD, not some cheap ones you bought from Walmart. Make sure they're good quality DVDs, because you've only got one shot at it. And I have seen customers burn them to cheap discs they picked up at box stores, and then when they go to when they go to test it after they've done the burn, and they try to use the discs to test to make sure it's going to work, they don't work because they were cheap discs. Bottom line, you get what you paid for. So then you're going to have that one disc in there. It's going to tell you, once you click OK on that one box, it's going to tell you how many discs you're going to need to burn your backup DVDs, recovery DVDs, for your operating system. So you got to make sure you have that many DVDs ready. If you realize you don't have that many, don't go past that screen. Cancel out of it. You can go back into it later. Don't go beyond that screen where it tells you how many discs it tells you. Make sure you have discs that are brand new, no scratches on them, they're clean, and you put the first one in the DVD burner before you click the create backup one. And then once it reads what you have in there, it'll tell you you need X number of DVDs to complete this. And once you have everything ready, you click OK, and it continues on, and it starts to gather the files, and it'll start to burn when it's ready. When that disk is finished, it'll automatically pop out. You're going to take that disk out and put it on a nice lint-free cloth, and you're going to put another blank DVD in it, and you're going to close the DVD door, and you're going to click OK. And it's going to start burning to that, collecting the files and burning it to that one. And while it's doing that, you take a fine point felt marker, don't use a label, and write right on the disk with a fine point permanent marker the name of the computer, the model, the serial number, and write disk 1 of. And if it told you 3, then you put disk 1 of 3. Then when the next one pops out, you put name of the computer, Lenovo, the model number, and the serial number. It's very important you put the serial number on there, because if you have more than one computer and they're identical, you cannot recover from one that's not dedicated to that serial number. Now when that disk comes out, you put disk 2 of 3. It may be disk 2 of 2. Every system is different depending on how much software comes with it. Then what you do is, once it's all done, you take disk 1 and you shut the computer off, and you set your computer to boot from DVD through the BIOS. You'll find videos on YouTube here on how to set the BIOS up. Just search BIOS, setting BIOS boot, and you'll find it. And you set it to boot from CD or DVD as the first one, and then boot from hard drive as the second one. A lot of computers, they already come pre-set in the BIOS to boot first of all from a DVD, and then from the hard drive. Most computers are set up that way, some aren't. But just check the BIOS and make sure it is. Power the computer down, put your first DVD in there, and hit start. Here, hit the power button to turn it on. And it's going to go through the whole recovery process and bring it right back to factory if the disk burnt properly. If they didn't, you can still recover it from the factory partition. And then you'll have to call tech support and say the disk didn't burn. And they'll cover that under warranty to ship it back. I'm not going to say all manufacturers will cover under warranty, but the ones we deal with have. It's very important that you burn at a very low burns write speed. And go through all the disks of install. It'll walk you through step by step when to change the disk, and then go through the whole registration of setting the computer up again. Then you take those disks and you put them somewhere safe, where you're going to remember where they are, and nobody's going to be able to get at them. Put them in a safe place. Again, make sure the make, model, and serial number is on each disk, and disk 1 of 3, or disk 1 of 2, and disk 2 of 2, or disk 2 of 3. By God, make sure you burn them. So many people come in with their computers crashed and they don't have the backup burns because they didn't know that they don't come with them anymore. A lot of computers will come with a CD with some promotional software, and people think that's the recovery CD. It's not. Computer manufacturers, to cut costs, do not burn the backup DVDs anymore. The only exception is in this case here, where there's a new operating system that's out, and Lenovo and HP offers, when you buy right now, they ship with Windows 7, whether it's the home version, or the business professional, or the business ultra. These came with a set of 2 Windows 8 recovery DVDs. Now, I don't recommend putting up to Windows 8 right away until the first service pack comes out. Because when a new operating system comes out, it's always got bugs. Always, always. And I always tell people, and other places will tell you, don't upgrade to it until the first service pack comes out, because you'll end up with a lot of grief in most cases. And then you put these, once you do upgrade these, put these away with your set of Windows 7 backup DVDs, so that way if you find something down the road that an expensive printer you have is not compatible with Windows 8, you can always step back down to Windows 7. You can put the Windows 7 recovery disks in there that you burnt. So that's just a little pep talk. I haven't seen this anywhere on YouTube, and many people don't know about it, that they have to burn these backup DVDs. And it ends up costing them hundreds of dollars, because first off, they don't know how to put the DVDs to recover the system. It's very easy to recover it. If it's crashed on you, or it's not working right, or your computer's really slowed down, best thing to do is to buy yourself a portable hard drive. Back everything up to a portable hard drive once a year or once every 2 years, and wipe the hard drive out with the recovery disk and bring it back to factory. I know with my laptop, with all the different experimenting I do, I have to do it every 6 months, because I try all these different programs and stuff that trial stuff and stuff that people make and try, and I try and see what it does and stuff like that. And I end up with corrupt operating files, just like everybody else was. You can get a virus and it can damage some operating files and it doesn't operate right. So even in most cases you get a bad virus, it's cheaper for us to just wipe the drive, bring it back to factory, because you'd spend hours and hours and still not get all the virus out, especially for people that aren't using a really good antivirus program. For God's sake, do not use the free ones. Don't even use the free ABG ones. They have minimal protection. You spend a lot of money on your computer. Spend a few bucks a year it costs you to get ABG Cloud Care, and you'll find another video on that later, because we're an authorized reseller for ABG, just as we're an authorized reseller for Lenovo and HP and Acer, Brother printers, and Ruckus Wireless. We're an authorized partner for Ruckus Wireless and several other companies. So for God's sakes, wherever you buy your computer from, please make sure before you do anything, once you set it up, before you install anything on your computer, you burn a set of backup disks. And then, once that's done, test your backup disks. Make sure they're going to work. And then every time you install a new program, every time you go to install a new piece of software, before you do anything, click on Start, go to left click on Computer, go to Properties, click on Set a restore point. Set a new restore point. Give it a name. Install of whatever you're installing. Because if something goes wrong during that install, at least you can go back into the system and roll it back to that restore point before you install it, to the point where before you installed it. So if you can't find it by clicking on the computer, type in the search box restore or restore manager, and it'll come up and it'll say either, one box will say either turn my computer back to the known set restore point, or click on the one that says set a new restore point. Give it a name of whatever you're installing or whatever you're playing with. Set a restore point. The system will automatically do a system restore to whatever is done, set by factory. Some of them are set to do it every 2 days, every 3 days, every once a week. I set a restore point every day, just in case something happens. At least I can roll it back. So that's just a little chat there. 2 things to do when you first get a computer: burn your backup disks. I cannot stress that enough. Number 2, make sure you get a good paid antivirus such as ABG. You can contact us. We have a toll-free number. You can get remote IT service with the ABG Cloud Care. You can get content filtering, so you can filter when your employees can't get to certain websites, when your children can't get to certain websites that you don't want them to, or when you don't want them on the internet. You can set that a certain time so that when they're supposed to be doing homework, they're not online talking with their friends. And last but not least, each and every piece of software you ever install, you open up that restore manager and you set a new restore point and give it a name before install of, and the name of whatever you're installing or whatever you're playing around with, and go through the steps it'll walk you through step by step. And then once that restore has been done, set the restore point and install your piece of software. Reboot your computer after every install. A reboot. Let it come back up again before you install the next piece of software. Set a restore point again, because if you install 3 or 4 programs and let's say the 4th one mucks up, well, your earliest restore point is the very first one you made, or if you didn't make one, it's 2 or 3 days ago. And anything that was done on the computer, Windows updates or Java updates or whatever, it's gone. You got to go back to java.com and reinstall Java, which you should do also once you, one of the first things you do when you get your computer up and running is get an antivirus on there. Go to java.com, install Java, and install the real player, or not real player, I mean just a regular Adobe player there, and they're all free downloads. And keep your system clean, and the best way to keep it clean is by following these steps and doing a backup of your hard drive. We've got them here. They're relatively inexpensive. They're a network hard drive, and it's very simple to back up to. It's on your network, it's plugged into your router. If you haven't got any room left in your router, you add a switch to it. The regular 5 or 8 port switch is inexpensive. And back your stuff up. And then every once in a while burn a system image of your computer, so that everything that you've installed on it is backed up on a system image on a portable hard drive. Unless you got the Windows Business Edition, you cannot save a system image to a network drive. You can with the Windows 7 or 8 Professional or Business or the Ultra, but you cannot do it with the Home Professional. You cannot back up to it, just like you can't transfer when you install a new computer and you want to be able to pull all your information from your other computer onto the other computer just over your network. If you've got one that's business and one that's home, it's not going to work. They both have to be the same version of Windows, and it saves you a lot of headache when you want to move files, because you can just have your old laptop on and just start the remote process on the old one and start the remote process on the new one, and basically all your files, everything get transferred over without you doing a thing. But if you're on a network, you can burn a system image to a network drive, and if your system should go down, then you can just restore your system from the system image, and you have all your programs, everything all automatically installed, because the recovery disk you burn will not have your programs on it. So anyway, keep that in mind. Play safe on the internet, and keep your computer safe. Use a power bar with the surge protector. Pick up yourself, if you haven't got a laptop, you got a desktop, pick up yourself, come talk to us about a UPS. It's a backup power supply that if the power goes out, it will shut the computer down on a standby power the proper way automatically, so it doesn't just crash and you get a bad sector in your operating system. Every time that computer crashes from a power failure, it does damage to files. Sure, it repairs them a lot of times, but still they're not, sometimes not always right. So invest in a good, not really, half decent UPS. We've got them here anywhere from, like I say, starting from $80 onward upward. And you can have more than one system on one UPS if you got a big enough one, and then the system shuts down properly. So I'll leave you with that. I just had to have that little chat with you again. We were talking about this Lenovo all-in-one 20-inch Ink Center, model number LS2223, manufacturer's number of 3783HB2. Have a great evening. Leave comments below, play nice, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much for watching.